You are listening to the AI World Podcast, your trusted source for the latest innovations, insights, and trends in artificial intelligence, blockchain, fintech, and decentralized technologies. Each episode features expert interviews, engaging discussions, and in-depth analysis of how AI transforms industries worldwide. Stay ahead of the curve with the latest articles and exclusive reports from the AI World Journal, covering everything from emerging technologies to industry breakthroughs. For more news, global events, and access to AI World Society circle gatherings, visit us at aiworld.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to stay informed, stay connected, and be part of the AI revolution with AI World Lounge. Thank you for listening.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. So, if you've glanced at any tech headlines lately, really in the last couple of years, generative AI is basically the main event.
Oh, yeah.
It's everywhere, writing articles, making images, creating videos. It feels like it defines tech right now.
It definitely gets the spotlight. And honestly, it's earned a lot of that attention. But it does create this huge blind spot.
Right.
Because while generative AI, GA is busy creating all this new stuff, the topic we're really digging into today is extractive AI.
Okay.
And that is the quiet powerhouse. It's maybe less flashy, but it's fundamentally changing how big organizations actually handle knowledge. It's the foundation, really.
Absolutely. So that's our mission for this deep dive. Using the material you shared, we want to unpack what extractive AI actually is, why it's become so essential. Really essential in this age of just overwhelming information.
Drowning in it.
Exactly. And how it works as this filter and spotlight you mentioned, how it turns this mountain of raw data into something clear, actionable, and maybe most importantly, reliable knowledge people can actually trust.
Yeah, reliability is key. Generative AI, it creates, it invents, sometimes it even guesses, right? Extractive AI is different. It finds the truth or the facts, let's say, in what's already there. It's all about verifiable fact.
Okay, let's really nail down that contrast then. So GA creates. What's the core job, the defining function of extractive AI? And why does it even need its own label? Couldn't GA just do this too?
That's a really good question, and it gets right to the heart of it. Extractive AI systems are laser-focused. Their entire goal is identifying, retrieving, and summarizing key information from massive sets of data that already exist.
Okay.
It's not inventing new sentences or ideas. It's programmed to find the best existing sentences, the specific phrases, the hard facts within the source material.
Ooh.
Think of it like this, maybe. A generative system is like an essayist weaving a narrative, an extractive system that's more like a top-tier investigative journalist or maybe a meticulous researcher.
Okay.
It scans millions of documents, emails, reports, legal filings, even meeting transcripts, and its only job is to surgically pull out the exact pieces of information that truly matter.
I like that visual from the research you shared, EA, as a spotlight in a dark room. It just cuts through all the noise.
It really does. Imagine you have terabytes of your company's internal data. You don't necessarily need a beautifully written summary.
Right.
What you need is the system that can instantly surface that one critical contract clause or the specific dollar figure or maybe the vital allergy warning that's otherwise completely buried deep in the text.
Yeah.
It doesn't interpret, it pinpoints. It finds verifiable original facts.
Okay, so let's unpack the mechanics of that pinpointing. If its job is digging through data mountains to grab specific facts, how does EA actually do that? What are the sort of core techniques making this possible?
Right. There are really four main techniques that power EA, and understanding these is pretty crucial to see why it's so reliable compared to just pure generation.
Okay, lay them out for us.
First up is extractive summarization. This is where EA looks at a long document, let's say a 50-page technical report, instead of writing a new summary paragraph that paraphrases everything.
Which GA would do.
Which GA would likely do, yes. EA selects and literally stitches together the most important sentences directly from the original text, word for word.
Okay, that's a huge difference. Because if the generative system summarizes, it might lose some nuance or worse, introduce small errors when it rephrases things.
Exactly.
But extractive summarization keeps the original wording. That sounds critical for things like legal docs or compliance.
Absolutely critical. It maintains the integrity, the original context, because every single word is verifiable against that source document. So that's one. The second technique is information retrieval, or IR. This is basically the search mechanism. But it's not like just doing a web search. It's designed to work across both structured data, like databases, and unstructured data, like all those messy internal company files.
Got it. The stuff that's usually hard to search.
Right. And it finds the best matching snippets of text that relate to a specific question or query you've asked it. It retrieves the relevant context.
So it's not just finding keywords, it's actually pulling the relevant bits surrounding those keywords, even from different data silos.
Precisely. Then number 3, you have entity and keyword extraction. This is maybe the most fundamental part.
Okay.
This is where the AI identifies specific named concepts buried in plain text. Things like people's names, company names, locations, monetary values, dates. It turns unstructured words into structured, labeled data points.
Right, it tags the important stuff.
Exactly. And finally, the 4th technique pulls it all together, question answering, or QA. Yes. QA systems are designed to find precise, evidence-backed answers to specific questions. And the key thing here is the answer must be demonstrably present in the source documents.
Ah, so it won't guess or infer.
It won't infer. It won't make a general statement if the specific fact isn't there. It has to locate the exact text snippet that directly supports the answer. It provides the evidence.
Okay, this is helpful. To bring this home for everyone listening, let's use that scenario from the sources. Say we feed EA a bunch of internal documents about Q3 performance.
Right.
And these documents mention competitors, investment figures, product names, maybe some global targets, all mixed up in paragraphs of text.
Okay, good example. So if we run entity extraction on that collection of text, the AI instantly starts labeling and pulling out the critical items. It identifies organizations, maybe Apple and Samsung.
Yep.
Specific financial values like $90 billion in revenue or $10 billion in AI investment. Product names like iPhone 16, time markers Q3 2025, geography, Asia. It strips away all the surrounding sentences and just gives you these labeled facts.
Like pulling nuggets out of the stream.
Exactly. And then if you use the question answering feature and you ask something specific like, how much did Apple invest in AI research in Q3 2025?
Right.
Because the system has already done that foundational entity extraction, it doesn't need to generate a creative answer. It finds the exact sentence containing that information.
And the answer is?
The answer is just $10 billion, point blank, found in document X, paragraph Y. This ability to pinpoint exact answers, exact key points, instead of just generating a fluent narrative. That's why EA is becoming the go-to for high-stakes decisions.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Why has this become such a non-negotiable tool right now? It feels like we got by before, but suddenly EA is critical for how businesses function.
Yeah, it's because we've basically hit a wall. We've passed this critical threshold with information volume. The numbers are just staggering.
Yeah.
We're living in a world where something like 328 million terabytes of data get generated every single day.
328 million terabytes daily. That's not, I can't
Yeah.
even picture that.
Nobody can, really. And the vast majority of that isn't neat stuff in spreadsheets. It's unstructured text, video, audio. Just a deluge.
So we're generating information way faster than any human could possibly review or comprehend.
Completely impossible. And that creates this crisis in knowledge management. The critical facts you need maybe to make a billion-dollar investment decision or a life-saving medical call, they're just buried, drowned under this avalanche of data.
Decision makers are overwhelmed.
Totally drowning. So EA becomes that essential filter and spotlight. It guarantees that the decision makers see the, say, 5 crucial facts that actually matter instead of being paralyzed by the sheer noise. I mean, if you can't find the data you have, it's almost like it doesn't exist.
That makes sense. Let's give the listener some really concrete, high-stakes examples. How does EA translate into essential knowledge in key areas? Let's maybe take healthcare and legal, like in the sources. How does it deliver there?
Okay, great examples. Let's start with healthcare. Imagine a specialist gets called in on a really complex patient case. The patient's history might cover 30 years. It's got notes from other specialists, lab results, imaging reports, maybe 200 pages of dense text.
Wow.
Now, manually sifting through all that, trying to find the one specific mention of a rare drug allergy logged maybe 10 years ago, it's incredibly time-consuming. And worse, it's prone to human error.
And that kind of error could be, well, disastrous.
Yeah, it could be fatal, exactly.
Yeah.
So EA takes those 200 pages, and in literally seconds, it extracts the key entities, the specific allergy name, the date it was recorded, maybe the name of the doctor who recorded it. It surfaces those critical warnings instantly.
So the doctor operates with the full picture, not just what they managed to skim.
Exactly. They have 100% of the relevant critical data points right there. It's a huge leap for patient safety and efficiency.
Okay, that's a clear, life-saving application. Now, what about the legal field? Volume is a massive enemy there too, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Think about litigation or maybe large-scale M&A due diligence. Lawyers might be facing literally thousands of documents, contracts, emails, depositions, case law.
Just mountains of text.
Mountains. And maybe a lawyer is looking for one very specific forward clause hidden somewhere in there, something that dictates liability during, say, a force majeure event.
Finding that manually sounds like a nightmare.
It is. But an EA system can scan, say, 10,000 contracts and highlight that precise clause wherever it appears. And crucially, it shows you the source document, the page number, the line number. No manual reading required for the initial search.
That's not just faster, it's reducing risk, right? Ensuring critical clauses aren't just missed by tired eyes.
Exactly. Reducing risk is a huge part of it. It guarantees that those vital pieces of information aren't overlooked.
And you can see how that extends, finding the exact revenue figure for finance teams from hundreds of filings, or pulling the specific FAQ answer from chat logs for customer support. EA makes existing knowledge instantly usable.
It operationalizes it, yes, makes it actionable.
Okay, now let's talk about the power play here. Combining the creator, generative AI, with the truth finder, extractive AI. We have to discuss this synergy. How do these two really complement each other?
Right. This combination is really where things are heading for reliable AI systems.
Yeah.
And, for the informed listener, this whole process is often called retrieval augmented generation, or RGE.
Argy.
Okay. Generative AI, as we know, is powerful. But its big weakness, its Achilles heel, is that tendency to hallucinate.
Right, making things up that sound plausible but aren't actually true.
Exactly. Fluent but false. Extractive AI acts as the factual safeguard in the RGE model. It's the retrieval part.
Oh, okay.
It ensures that before the generative AI even starts writing anything, it's first given a highly curated, evidence-backed set of facts. And these facts are extracted directly from trusted sources like your company's internal documents. The GA is basically told, here's the verified information, ground your output in this.
So, if the generative AI is the novelist, the extractive AI is like the research librarian, handing over the verified footnotes, the direct quotes, before the writing starts.
That's a perfect analogy,
Yeah.
Let's go back to that hybrid example idea. A generative AI is asked to write, say, a comprehensive 5-page market analysis report on a competitor.
Okay.
The GA part is great at getting the tone right,
Yeah.
structuring the report, making it readable.
Oh, if it just pulls some revenue numbers from an old public website it scraped somewhere, the whole report could be useless or worse, misleading.
Totally garbage, yeah.
Oh.
So the RG system prevents that. It dictates that the extractive AI component first dives into the reliable sources, maybe the official internal Q3 financial filings,
Yeah.
the competitor's actual regulatory reports,
The ground truth.
the ground truth. It surgically pulls the exact verified revenue numbers, specific quotes about investments, citations from trusted documents. It then hands this bundle of grounded facts to the generative AI and essentially says, use this data, base your analysis on these facts.
Okay, so the end result is it's insightful, hopefully, because of the generative part.
Right.
But it's also grounded in verifiable truth thanks to that extractive layer first. That sounds vital for things like business intelligence, research, any kind of serious fact-checking.
Absolutely vital. This hybrid model moves us beyond just creating stuff that sounds smart. It helps create outputs that are trustworthy, that are auditable, and this shift from just focusing on fluency to demanding reliability, that's really why EA is becoming so transformative.
Okay, let's look ahead then. If EA is already handling text so well, where does it go next? What's the next frontier for extractive AI?
Well, the next really big leap is multimodal extraction,
Multimodal.
meaning moving beyond just analyzing written text. It's about EA learning to analyze audio, video, and images, often all at the same time, and extracting information from them.
Whoa, okay, that dramatically expands the pool of data we can pull knowledge from, doesn't it? Now we're talking about every recorded meeting, every security camera feed, every webinar, every news broadcast.
That's exactly the potential. Think about future applications, in security, for instance. Instead of guards just watching endless video monitors.
Which is hard for humans to do effectively for long.
Right. You could have an EA system analyzing hours and hours of surveillance footage. It could be extracting specific faces or license plates, or maybe identifying distinct sounds like breaking glass or alarms.
Right.
Or think about research. A scientist or researcher doesn't necessarily need to sit through a 6-hour recording of a scientific webinar anymore.
Right.
A multimodal EA system could potentially process the audio track, transcribe it, analyze the content of the presentation slides shown on screen, maybe even factor in speaker emphasis from the audio, and then summarize that entire complex session into, say, 3 key experimental findings and 5 critical quotes with timestamps.
That's powerful. And I can see for media companies too, right? Pulling the single best 30-second soundbite from hours of raw interview footage without a human editor having to scrub through it all.
Exactly. It's about extracting that knowledge nugget, as you
Yeah.
put it earlier, but now from any medium, not just text.
So why is this increasing capability so important for businesses, ultimately?
Ultimately, extractive AI, whether text-based or multimodal, is set to become the backbone for enterprise AI. Not just because it's efficient, but because modern organizations increasingly demand greater accuracy, more transparency, and critically, auditability from their AI systems.
Auditability, being able to trace it back.
Precisely. EA, because it works with source facts, provides that traceability. It ensures that automated insights or decisions can be linked directly back to a specific piece of evidence in the original data. That's becoming non-negotiable.
Okay, that really brings us to the core takeaway then. While generative AI definitely grabs the headlines and, creates the exciting new content, it's extractive AI that's quietly generating clarity and truth.
Yeah.
It surfaces the right verifiable facts at the right time. And this focus on grounding AI in actual data seems to be leading directly to smarter, faster, and just much more reliable decision-making everywhere.
That's the trajectory. And it leads to a really crucial final thought for you, the listener, to maybe chew on. We've established that these extracted systems are becoming essential, especially in RAG, for ensuring compliance and auditability, because they find that verifiable evidence trail.
Right.
So if a company heavily relies on this RAG model, using EA to feed facts to GA, and the final generated report still ends up being flawed or containing errors, who is ultimately responsible for validating the reliability of that initial extractive layer? How do you audit the auditor, especially when it's automated? What does this rise of the automated truth finder really mean for human oversight and legal accountability down the line?
That is a fascinating legal, ethical, and operational puzzle for sure, especially as we rely more on machines to tell us what's true based on our own data. Something definitely worth thinking about. We encourage you to explore extractive AI further and consider how that precision spotlight might change how you interact with information. Thank you for joining us on the Deep Dive.
The future of artificial intelligence is unfolding, and it's happening at AI World Week, the flagship global event for innovation, collaboration, and transformation. This flagship global AI event is designed to connect visionary leaders, trailblazing entrepreneurs, and influential thinkers to explore the endless possibilities of AI. Experience groundbreaking technology that redefines industries and inspires progress. Join thought-provoking discussions on ethical AI, digital equity, and the transformative role of technology in our world. Build meaningful connections that catalyze innovation and drive impact. AI World Week is powered by AI World Society, a global movement dedicated to advancing AI responsibly and ensuring it serves humanity. Together, we're shaping a smarter, more inclusive, and equitable future. Continue your journey beyond the event with the AI World Journal, offering expert insights, in-depth analysis, and the latest trends shaping the AI landscape. This is your opportunity to lead, to innovate, and to transform the world with AI. AI World Week. We invite you to join us and embrace the AI revolution.